Welcome to IET Chennai Local Network. Today we are going to have a generative AI panel discussion. We have Mr. Senthil Nayagam, Head, Ammonian AI Studios, and Dr. Subalita CN, Founder Director, First Language Technologies, Associate Professor in SRM IST. Welcome, ma'am. Dr. Divya Shivaraj, Senior Data Scientist, done Street Technologies, Chennai. And we have welcome, ma'am. And we have Mr. Somasundaram, founder and CEO, Soft India Private Limited. Welcome, sir. And now we have Mr. Sarveshwaran Rajagopal, Gender AI Specialist, Data Science, Chennai. Welcome, sir. Sir, you can start with the panel discussion.
How much has your work changed because of generative AI?
Yeah, so primarily I'm not a developer, so maybe the work, or I can call the way I research, has changed because we research a lot in natural language processing. So earlier it was primarily using models, which use LLMs. So we train a large number of data sets, and the semantics, introducing the semantics was a bit harder. We used RNN and LSTM we were using. So we used to generate lyrics, and so that was the case. And then we shifted to these LLMs, BERT. So yeah, so and then BERT came, so we were able to do multilingual. So that was the one because so when we could do something for Tamil and we could also stretch it to Telugu. So the multilinguality research was made possible due to generative AI in the context of LLM. Now the paradigm shift has again occurred when due to Llama and Mistral. Now it is again going back to monolingual, I think. So they are not. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong. So of course models are there working for each and every language.
Have you tried Kruthram or something which Ola has released?
No, I've not looked into that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but of course, this Abhinand has given Lama Tamil and Gema Tamil. So yeah, again, now we are adapting to check on that. So the I would say like this is how our research perspectives have changed for a period of time. So the way we use the models. So this is my perspective.
With respect to your question, how it has changed my
Daily work.
daily work, then I have some few tasks where it drastically reduces the amount of time I spend. For example, if I want to develop a code, do a web scraping, if there is any part, it made me work so much simpler. Just giving a HTML, not tell this, but just giving you a part of the HTML code to GPT. It gives a whole code to just scrape the URL. So that one. Then a lot of manual validation. Since as a data scientist, it's not that we only build a model. We do a ground truth. We do manual validation. We prepare our data sets. In that case, we wanted some relevant news capturing in our task. So in that case, we use ChatGPT, which reduced our manual work. For example, 3 weeks works made in a week time. 6 people working in a team. 2 people was been working. So the drastical change is there with by using ChatGPT, LLM models. There is ChatGPT or whatever we did, but a lot of hallucination is there, data insecurity is there. But we focus, we have awareness what to be put on GPT, what not to do.
Okay.
So we believe in that. We wanted to have that eye on security as well. Only if it is a public data, only it doesn't affect our company, then we use it. Because web scraping is nothing. We don't build a model or do some other task using GPT. It's not allowed. But scraping is one which is publicly we can extract the data. We use that. Manual validation is not going to affect anything. It's not nothing like going to share the data, a company's data to the GPT for training. It's a public use. So in that case, we'll have some awareness what to use, what not to use. So in that case, it helps a lot.
Sure.
So I have different mass customer So I've been a mentor, and I'm also an a full-time employee with company. So the first thing for creating contents for the students, so the slides that I have to prepare, the contents that I have to generate, right? So that has significantly reduced my time. So if you have to prepare for a session, I'll have to sit down for hours together, prepare the content, and then deliver for the session. Now it has drastically reduced because it's giving a very superior quality of content, which I'll have to go back and tweak a little bit here and there, according to my own need, and I can create the presentation, can create the code. So that way, it has improved my productivity and the quality of content that I can deliver. Say, for example, 3 or 4 hours of session, I have to sit down and prepare the content. It takes mere 8-9 hours of time, to create a content. Now the time taken to prepare the content has significantly reduced, where I can concentrate in other work. So, for example, the content creation in LinkedIn or creating some other blogs. Right? So, and to generate some newer ideas. Right? So, to brainstorm. So, it's like a companion. So, the AI tools, the chatbots are like a company. It gives me fresh ideas. So, you can speak about this in this open forum. So, this LinkedIn content creation. So, for all these things, the GPT has given me a lot of new choices and the right way of writing it, using the right keywords, right? And also when we conduct sessions for the resume creations and all, right? So how do we hack the ATS trackers using the job descriptions and the existing resumes that you have? So some tools and solutions that we can find using GPT. Coming to the official work that we do. The first the problem that we worked on was the text to SQL problem, right? So the SQL, like how the SQL developers were there, 10 years back, we cannot find the quality of SQL developers now because there is no need. There's no need or there's no urge to write the superior SQL queries now, right? So this text to SQL problem has significantly reduced that dependency. You give a natural language, it can create a SQL query out of it. So you can get rid of a SQL developer that plays it, right? So, so what ChatGPT can do is a simple query. Right? So what you'll have to go back and do proper prompting. Whether you can create a complex query with these, right? So even though it's not giving 100% right, but it can give a query where non-SQL developers can also, take the code and refine it and they can use it. So text to SQL is one challenging problem that the industry is facing. So that we had implemented and we have created a solution. So these are some solutions that I have done.
So I have I could summarize it in 3 areas: technical, non-technical, and managerial tasks. Right? So we have developers in our office. So we normally have these YouTube videos, or any new technology that comes, we need to upskill ourselves. We go through that. Now with the ChatGPT, you can say, let's take a React component, right? So we would like to add something to an existing project. So you just feed the code to it and then instruct it, I want to add this. It will add and give it to you. Then you can put your human intelligence into it. It will be much faster. Sometimes we might not know how to do it. Sometimes we know a little bit, help might be needed. So it's kind of a senior techie helping a junior to do that. That kind of a help that's happening in the technical area. Non-technical area, right? So we create contracts. We have to send out nasty emails. Summary, I can tell it saying that no, it is too strong. Tone it down a bit. All those things on the managerial side. Non-technical, when you create a legal contract, there are a lot of things that you need to put into that contract. The salesperson we recruit might not know the full thing, right? So this will actually help them think in a very structured way. You just give a requirement, it will tell you what are all the things that needs to be there. So that's a great enabler. We create wonderful documents now. And on the managerial part, another thing is that we create, let's say there is a request for a product. It comes with a 20-page document with all the nitty-gritties. So now Adobe has a summary. So it can actually read the document and give an essence. Then each topic wise, it will give you a summary and I can ask questions to it. So it helps us read through content, read through documents, complex documents easier. So these are the 3 areas in my work that AI has helped us.
So everybody mentioned ChatGPT at one point of time. They are still the leaders, though multiple people have come in last week. So I would actually ask, okay, after ChatGPT, I mean, ignore 3.5, 4 different part. Okay, is there any other AI model, framework, tools, or demos which has impressed you?
I mean, similar to ChatGPT.
Anything on generative AI? Not limited LLM for now.
So I like Llama too. Llama Chat I like. Why? Because like it is customizable. So because the only open source that came first, right? Like an
Open model for us.
open model.
Data set is
Yeah,
not
open model. Yeah, open model. So Mistral I have not looked into because people say like Mistral is better than Llama 2. But Llama 2 came as a boon for startups like us because I don't need to pay for it, and it is I mean it can run using
Locally.
yeah, so LangChain and Google Colab, it can accommodate. Of course, we can host it on AWS. So I personally like Llama 2 and Llama Chat,
Okay.
apart from ChatGPT.
Okay.
We'll wait for some.
We'll wait for some time.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, the students have any other questions, so we can discuss also, you can tell us. That
Any question from student
would
side?
help you. So please just,
No, you can think through it.
ah,
Whatever questions you have, maybe at the end of the session we can answer it. Can be anything.
Okay, then I can talk. It lights off. I can talk more. Sure. Okay. So,
Okay.
So I use.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
what can I start? I don't know, streaming.
What's that?
Oh, streaming is
Okay.
already going on.
So you asked for interest models, like
Anything which was any demos?
any
Whatever you're not using
whatever,
it.
whatever. So for all the models which are coming up, some interest with their research actually. Every model with their millions of parameter difference they get trained. Initially started with I think 75 million parameter transformers. Now it is on trillion parameter transformers. So the performance and accuracy it's keep on increasing. It's our what to say our interest is also is good, but my influence is on cosine similarity. Still, I just keep on researching how they thought about the similarities that it's very good context for what we have. That is one which is driving everything I feel.
Okay. Okay.
So cosine similarity concept and all this similarity search is one which interests me so much.
Okay, to me there is some startup called some stability. I don't know how many of you have used it or you have seen it. So yeah. So stability.ai, if you give a doodle, it can create an artwork for you. And it can create, I found it fascinating. Any kid can give the doodle. You can give it fantastic high resolution images. So you can give it a 3D and where you want that specific image to be present. So I found that to be more interesting. And also on top of that, Midjourney, the quality of images generated from Midjourney, it's really astounding. It's the quality. So if any graphic engineer had to pitch in and create such a quality, the images, so it's very expensive and it's time consuming. So what you think, you just prompt it and you get an image, right? So I think those two tools have made it.
So, if I could compare ChatGPT and Gemini, I like Gemini better because its language understanding is much better and it has better capabilities. But the way the language is structured is better in ChatGPT. Gemini understands it better, and because it's Google, they can do so many things. ChatGPT its core strength is very strong, but it still has a lot to learn, a lot to be done. So I like Gemini comparing to ChatGPT in certain ways, not completely. If ChatGPT or Gemini, I can't choose like that. I like the best from the both of them. Yeah.
Okay, so let me also tell this thing. Okay, so I explore nearly all the new models which drop in, and I have scripts which are tracks which the latest model being dropped. and I make sure I try it as soon as possible. Okay. I really run multiple versions of the same software, so see the difference part. Because that's what I'm doing professionally, so that's how I do it. So couple of okay. So there's a OpenAI released a video called Sora, right? So give a prompt and it's as good as real videos. Okay. So think of it a movie or a documentary as a series of 50, 60 prompts, and these prompts can be generated from ChatGPT itself, right? So think of it. You come with a book title and a book can be finished. When last year I thought about it, I tried. So I've tried writing multiple times. I attempted to write books. I've finished one chapter. I will lose interest, or industry will change, or I will not forget who the audience is, and I've left a lot of half-baked books. Now this time, last year, I think within 48 hours I could finish from start to end all the science fiction movies and their review how future will be. Right? I wrote a book on that part, at least something on PDF. But now it should be possible to anybody to create a short film or a film or a movie, right? So that is the vision of my company itself. So that's an interesting part. OpenAI has not given demos. They've given a lot of demos, but not given access to any developers yet. Only red teaming is what they're giving for now. But what has happened is, we noticed from yesterday, there's a news that they're talking with all Hollywood studios. So it will not come to public in some way. Probably Hollywood studios will start making movies at a fraction of the cost what it takes to actually make an actual movie. This is an interesting part. Second part, NVIDIA event actually happened now. They're daily announcing nothing. One thing was this exaflop scale, right? So a single, let's say, what do you call yeah, so 22 rack, right? One rack has exaflop, not petaflop, exaflop. So I remember a time in 2001, I think, if you had to import a Mac was imported as a supercomputer. That was the day. I've seen that kind of Mac in those days. And now exaflop is possible on a single part, and power consumption is significantly lower as well. And these can actually train a GPT class model or a GPT-4 model, which has a 1.8 trillion model with a bunch of servers. That's possible now, which was kind of unthinkable at one point of time. That's something interesting which is happening here. There is another company called Cerebras. Okay, so what they're doing is they have a wafer, not chip. They have wafer, full wafer into a single chip. So 1.6 trillion transistors on a single chip. They are also bringing inference. So there are two problems we have to solve. One is how do you train models, and other is inference. And a longer term, lot more work is done on the inference part, not the training part. Training is for big boys. Meta would have thousands of GPUs, and they can train and they can release it. And that's how it's coming to be. And the third part would be somebody who's actually open sourcing this code and tool would be unlikely is Elon Musk with Grok. So they open source the whole model. It was 326 GB of file. So I don't have the GPU to run it actually, but yeah, that's an interesting thing, what I feel. Okay, and another part, GPT-5 is supposed to be leaked or comes in somewhere around May, June, or summer this year. GPT-5 would come, and they're also coming for a low latency models for text to speech and speech to text for their own services, and they're going to use agents. Okay, those who have watched her movie, that's very close to what we expect. That kind of thing will happen in the OpenAI. And every other company is going to attempt that part. That's an interesting problem statement which I like to look forward for. Right? Okay. Do you have any question for other panelists? That's another thing which you can start, right? Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe for you.
Okay.
So you said like you're working with politicians and IT sector of politicians now. IT sector of political party.
Yeah.
Political. So I'm
Election campaigns. We are working on election campaigns. Content is created.
Yeah. So So I'm curious about like how AI works there.
Okay, I'll address it. Yeah. So whom else you want to ask any question?
I have to ask you.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you have some sequence of all the models catch up, right? How do you get updated all the models? Is there any community specifically, or you go through all the things and maybe you have some specific community where you get all the updates? For example, a very good paper gets published in daily, in Hugging Face, Hugging Up, we have some daily papers or something.
Axim have a lot of lists to that. Okay, so let me answer you both. Okay, I'll say
Yeah.
you'll accumulate for me.
Forget
Okay,
the
so
questions. Yeah.
first part. Okay, so I did some video where we replaced an actress with another actress. It's a Kavala song replaced actress Tamanna with actress Simran. I think, that's one which we are. So realistically, a lot of people believe it's realist. That's the whole thing which will matter for people. Okay. Then within 2 weeks for Jere movie, we replaced the Ratamare song which singer Vishal Mishra sung with the SPB voice. Because we thought, okay, I thought it suited more for Rajni than any other voice. Right? So both worked, and people figured out to put these things together. Okay, if you can do replace the face and also a voice, can you recreate a dead person, bring to life? And there are political applications for it. That's how it came in for. We didn't plan for winning politics. My interest was in doing movies, but eventually we did it. First, we did for in 2 videos. We did for one for a movie promotion. We did. Santanam's friend who died, who acted in Kannada Little in Asia, the doctor, right? We recreated him for a movie promo. It was created, but it was not released officially. So that was one thing which we did. And then there was a couple, right? The father-in-law died during COVID. The wife was depressed because father has died. Okay, so depressed very long time. And her birthday was coming in, and the husband reached out to me. Okay, I want to do something for her to bring her back and something. So we get a video of her father wishing her wherever I am, I'm happy, and I want to make sure you are happy. That will what make me happy. This is what a comment was. We want to push. Little like Inception idea, right? So putting idea into somebody's mind and making somebody happy is what we like. That also, but again, a very limited audience. Right? One audience of one, audience of five. That's what we this can be are not published for social media. This is what we get. But what worked amazingly well was we did a video which was released on January 23rd. It's Karnadi Kalangi's 100th century. 4 books are published by politician T.R. Balu. He's an MP as well. So, what if Karnadi comes and speaks about him, about the party and all the part? So, it became a political video which did amazingly well actually. What happened was it got covered, besides in local media, it got covered internationally. So I had an interview with Al Jazeera, Australian Broadcasting Corporation, German DW, BBC, next week with New York Times. So a lot of coverage happened because of that part. So anyway, that's how.
So that speech was generated automatically.
So we cloned the voice, we cloned the face and video, the other part.
The text and
Text somebody wrote the script for us. So we didn't try to create a pattern for it. They approved the script, but voice and everything else was done by us. So that covers the first part. Okay, so can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the model updates.
Models, okay, yeah. So basically,
and
there are different sites which have a lot of different parts. Okay, so if you are on Twitter or X, right, there are Scobalizer is one guy. Okay, he follows all these AI guys. He's an ex-blogger. Elon Musk follows all these guys, and eventually you find Sama and everything. Who are interacting with these people? Who are following? Who are announcing? So once you start following a particular group of content, you'll start getting the same set of content. So anything new happening or discussions, we can get that part. The other part would be there is a site called Hacker News, news.ycombinator.com. All the startups will discuss. Any new model interesting happens, people discussion will happen there. So that's also a good place to detect it. A third part, GitHub trending, you can identify for a particular language. Most of the AI models have been predominantly written in Python to start with. But inference is done in Rust and other language also is able to support now. But that's another area to discover whatever is new. So I'm talking about not what is overall new, what is today. What is the latest repository which is becoming popular today? I would love to get into that part. If you are into imaging, okay, so if you want to generate images, real, synthetic, whatever format, see, a lot of governments and big companies have a lot of restrictions on what you can do, what you cannot do. But I don't believe too much a restriction part. Individuals to do it, and they should face action based on what their action is. So, but you should not have a restricted models. Can we have uncensored, unrestricted models in some way? So, if you are into imaging in some way, there's a site called Civit AI, CIVIT AI. You can find all the models for it, all the fine tuning, how the actor, actresses, all that thing, and they'll tell you what challenges people are facing, how to solve it. Lip sync videos, tutorials. These are actual developers who are talking about these parts. Some people hate it, but again, it's a top 10, top 20 AI models or tool site. It's available. On Hugging Face, again, the trending library, they have nearly 500,000 AI models available. So each segment, okay, I am into, okay, I want to understand what an image is. So image recognition, segmentation, you will find each topic you will find models. And they also provide some of Hugging Face spaces is that you can run these models locally and run them on their server and get the feedback on that part. And Hugging Face has released a lot of models. They have a model called Python library called diffusers. They have accelerate. They have transformers. So you don't have to write each code for them. They already have written library to each latest model how to integrate with it. And the good part, this is being open sources. People keep updating it. Most big companies will release one software and they will not do any update for it. But here, these guys will figure out how to optimize it, how to make it faster. And so every few days, the Hugging Face will improve their optimization. So the quality will improve and new model support will increase. So that's how that goes into play. Okay, so yeah, these are primary areas, and I have written my some kind of own script to do some scraping or tracking whenever new releases happen, whichever I use to make money. And I make sure I try. So see, officially, or my intention is okay. I want to work for 4 hours a day, not more than that. I've across my segment that part. But I have time to read and learn. I don't put that time in that part. So whatever is interesting for me or anything which is new, I generally keep trying it. So that's what that is my secret, right?
One more question I want to ask on behalf of students to sir. Yeah. So since you're from FinTech, so on behalf of you all, if you have additional questions, you can post. So how students have to prepare themselves to get into FinTech in the niche of AI?
Okay. See, if you observe the current trend, right, there are two different things happening. One is hyper personalization. There's a personalized diet, there's a personalized workout plan, there's a personalized fashion. Everything is personalized. And then there is this generative AI. It's generic and it can generate anything. So when they come into employment, right? So these two will merge together, and then personalized or specific domain problem solving generative AIs will be thriving.
Okay.
Now it's like everything is doing everything kind of stuff. So sir is having a script and every day. See, the way I observe it, right? I don't get excited about the new things. I want to watch and see which is sustaining. So it's like reels, right? The reel is trending for a week, then another reel comes. Then we are quite excited. No, it's exciting to see the new changes that are happening. But what is it going to do? What kind of impact it is going to make? So to come back to your question on the fintech, see, like I said, the way your account opening is happening is very personalized now. You can even go and personalize the type of the account you want, the type of the insurance you want, right? So they even give you, as let's say, an insurance has 10 features. You can actually go and choose what you want and then ask for something else, and then they will.
Instead of combo, a la carte is there, right?
Yes, a la carte is going to come.
Okay.
And then you can even demand certain things, right? So these kind of personalized fintech services are going to thrive now. So that's what you can imagine. So if you are thinking of a solution, you have to think in a way that how a customized credit card. Now, see, the government has recently announced. It's a very technical thing. If you apply for a card, then a Visa card has some benefits. A MasterCard has some benefits. RuPay has some benefits, right? The government is saying now, RBI is saying, you choose the customer. I mean, you let the customer choose which operator they want. SBI card, I want it in Visa, but with the same airport lounge benefit. I don't want to be tied up with Master. These kind of things are happening now. So when it comes to AI part, right? So we are also planning to build or working on ideation stage and doing some AI product on the fintech side. Imagine a bank has all the information. Bank has history of the customer. From the day they open the account, if they're having 20 years or 30 years ago, they know where they have spent the credit card, they know which purchase they have done, all those things they have, right? So they can now come up with a personalized marketing campaign, personalized credit card, personalized loan offer, specific interest rate for this customer because this guy has some money and he spends and he repays it promptly. So I will give him a better rate. AI can do that. There is no need for a loan officer to come and sit and then go through the documents and do that. So all these things are happening now. Right now it's happening. We are also working on a very unique enterprise model where, from the bank's point of view, if they want to reconcile. So I'll just give you an example. Recently the income tax department has announced that they have recovered like 23,000 crores. They use AI. So the reconciliation part, right, that is happening very fast.
So you say, for example, the reconciliation, I mean that you go to ATM, you pay, I want 10,000 rupees. The money is debited, the cash didn't come. This reconciliation goes through multiple parties. Sometimes it will never happen. SBI has on record several thousands of crores pending to be reconciled. This is a problem that is already available. Because of the complexity of the banking network we have in India, in Tamil Nadu, you have all the branches, and even in villages, you have branches, right? If you go to BR and other places, they're all human ATMs. The LIC agents will be the ATM, they will dispense the money in your hand. The same problem, the customer will demand for, no, money has debited, give me the money. In ATM, you can't go say that, right? So these kind of reconciliation problems are there. So these are getting settled using AI now. AI can solve these problems. So if they want to get into fintech, they have to think this way. The way the fintech is operating in India globally is very fast and very personalized.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, I'm greedy. I mean, they're not asking questions, so I'm on their behalf. I know what they have. To you both, you've been a mentor also, and she's been served as a professor. Sir said on the final level, but they are in the zero level. How do they gear up? They have mountain ideas, right? So from where do they start? How to align themselves technically so that they reach to the level that Sir or he talked about? How do they align?
Equip themselves in GenAI or
GenAI or any AI. So from where they should start technically?
okay.
Programming language or machine learning, like how do they have to align themselves?
Okay. So there are two different ways of looking at this GenAI. Right? So this GenAI, to make it as an application, it's not more of a data scientist job. It's more of a software engineer job. Right? So all you're going to do is more of software engineering rather than in data sciences, how you are collecting data, doing modeling. Nothing is happening in this GenAI space. For any student to equip themselves as a data scientist or in generating, there are two different paths that he or she should start with. First is the fundamentals of programming. Programming is the first and far most important thing. And second, nevertheless, not everyone should get into the ML space. Right? So, is it your cup of tea? You'll have to try it and test it out. Because I'm with various different edtech companies, and there is a huge attrition rate. It was not like that. For 3-4 years back. Now, everyone joins. Last month in a new batch, I took in session. We had a general introduction. There was a cardiologist who attended a session. Right? He's an actual cardiologist who does operations and all, surgeries and all. Right? So and then from the next 2 classes they didn't join. Right? So is it your target? Is that what you want to pursue? You'll have to try it out. Still, you want to try it out with various different modeling that's available open source. Take the sample data that's available from Kaggle or any different sources, and you try to use it. And if you find it interesting, then you go join in EdTech and you have the structured learning. To get started with, the programming language Python is very important. Programming is important, and the good knowledge in basics, the mathematical foundations for data science. Maths, and stats is important, and getting into the algorithm is important. And then at last comes in your deep learning. Right? So coming to deep learning, they'll have to touch base on various different convolution neural networks and deep learning stuff.
Yes.
With hands-on, so that they can keep them.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So.
Since I have faced the situation, this transformation from teaching to corporate. So in that case, first step would be, as I said, language. Any one language you have to be strong. It's not Python. Any language. The logical thinking should be there. Solve more problems. It's not learning the basics. We all know the basics. We all know the data structure. How to apply the data structure. For that, there are multiple platforms like like Hackathon, then code platforms. You just let me know. You should know right now. Lead code is at a very high level. Please don't go to lead code. A very simple code camp, I think. Code camp and Geek, Hacker Ranker.
Yeah.
So solve one problem a day. That will give you exposure. Not learning is not at all enough when you want to solve a problem. As you train your model, you have to train your brain how to think, how to solve the problem. One thing is the data structure. At least 4 to 5 important data structure you have to know to solve any problem. End of the day, you're going to plug in any library, run the sequence, whatever, according to your use case. But some innovation should be there, right? The practice of making your task to be solved, the problem to be solved. So first part is your programming skills should be very good, because everybody running a race, it's not at a basic level. You should be at a good by practicing. You have time now, so there will be a time to solve two problems as a team. So it's very interesting job actually. So when you start, you'll know how interesting it is. Actually, even now I'm trying with my friends solving a problem a day. So that is one. The other one, when you start a project, so at any point of time, second year or third year, you'll start a project. First, search your interest in which part are you. Don't stick to GenAI anything. Doing a project itself will upskill us. We can build, we can go and stick to anywhere, whatever company. And at the end, whichever company you go, their model only you're going to get trained. So you'll be learning there differently. But before going into it, learn the pipeline, how to build a project, how to think, how to solve. Okay. So when you choose a project, first you have to choose a domain, networking or cloud or big data analytics, whatever. So choose that. The second part, you classify the domain into three sectors. One is easy, one is medium, one is hard. That is already state of art algorithm will be there. For example, grammar check. We don't build a grammar check model now. Already it is built. There's nothing more to do. 100% performance there. Then as I said, summarization already. Summarization performance is good. But if you take translation, when you check Google Translator, Tamil to English or anything, 2 lines you'll get a perfect result. 3 lines, 4 lines, give multiple lines and check a Google. There is a loop or a gap where you can go and try and solve the problem. So when you go to the domain, check in which scale you can have a try. Let it be on easy part or in a medium part. Please don't go to the hard part. That will give you a infrastructure requirement. Why it is so hard? Means there are some challenges. Always take the medium part. So that's, for example, if it is NLP, grammar check, summarization, all is easy. Maybe translation can be in medium part, I think. No? In translation or some loop, you just have a explore on that. Take the solve one small thing that will make you learn instead of replicating or mimicking the same project, whatever is there in GitHub or in Kaggle. Even though Kaggle is good, fine practicing, but a good learning will be having a small loop. You also some novelty. You search for the novelty. Though we don't reach the novelty, you touch that searching, that exploration path itself will give you. You will learn much. Okay, this is there. This is there. Then what else is not there? That learning will be there. That is my idea. That's what I.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that will be helpful for them. You got an idea.
Yeah, I will. We also add. Okay, sure. Okay, so a lot of people don't know about my background. Okay, I have not done any college, but I have built a software company. I'm a self-learner. Okay, nobody told me go and learn GenAI. There's no seminar going on. No, I generally go before it becomes a trend. I leave before the trend vanishes. I go to the next trend. I keep doing that part. Okay. So my part is you have to change your approach towards learning. Why are you learning it? You have to enjoy the journey. Don't only focus on the destination, because destination is a moving target, right? Each day, new model will come in, something else come. You can't catch in that part. But if you enjoy what you're doing, it will not be tiring for you. You can go and explore. That's what. So I keep myself interested in that kind of ideas. Okay. So first part, like you want to work on cars, great. Okay, but first to learn how to drive it. So or a bike, right? So you should know. So that's the skill which is required for you. If somebody gives a car, hey, can I drive it? Okay, well, this is accident. So somebody say 16 or 18-year-old with 5-10 days or 20 hours of he can learn how to drive a car to get a license, right? That's what skill is required. Okay, but if you want to become an automobile engineer, go and become a mechanic, or you want to build your own F1 racing car, it will take decades for you, right? That's even 10,000 hours won't be enough for you. Okay, so but a lot of problem happens is because we choose the degree first and then the learning part happens. So people a lot of disillusion at some point of time. So I go in the application part. Hey, a new model is there. Can I use this model? Can I write a prompt and can the image come out of it? Text is interesting. Then once I can get gives me good enough results in some way, then do I need to understand how does it work? I don't need to understand how it works inside on day one. Day one, it's a tool, it's a toy. So give a toy to a kid. Kid is enjoying it. It's not figuring out, okay, how does the toy works. No. So you have to be the kid who is curious about how to use it. That's how the analogy I will give to. Okay. Any new model comes in, it's a new toy for you. Go try it. You're gonna get something. A surprise maybe there. Some tools work, some won't work. But you'll know, okay, hey, what is the best you have? and eventually you start collecting these interesting tools, right? These are all which the better the tools you have, the better things you can build from there. That's what my approach towards it. And be some creative. Sometimes, can you copy somebody, right? It's as simple as that. Okay. So there's a what do you call? There's a character called Vali in Ramayana. Okay. So this guy had the superpower. He can see anybody and copy anybody, right? So if somebody has done a version, okay, hey, can they do a face replacement? Oh, how does it do that? If you go and find on YouTube, somebody will written a market, so everybody is writing some creating YouTube videos on how to do these things. A lot of content comes in. Okay, then you have blogs and content. You will do a first version which will be kind of crappy. Okay, what else is missing? I'm doing something right, but something is missing, right? It's like the recipe part, right? There'll be some secret. Do it in a particular order. Put the sequence. Okay, assume you're making chapati, right? And for chapati, if you when making the what do you call the batter? What do you put a batter? Right? What is all that? Dough. Okay, when you're making a dough, if you can put some oil into it or some milk into it, it becomes softer. First time making, you will put only water and you make it very hard. The chapati won't cook well or taste not well. But at least okay, it looks like a chapati. That's good enough. Second time, can I make some change, alteration? Okay, these are experiments. When you realize, oh, this is what it takes. And idea is not to beat everybody in the market, but I'm saying, hey, can you create something which you like? Don't try to cater to somebody else's requirement. Can you solve your own problem first? Is it solving my own personal interest? That's a good way to get started. That will keep you motivated. Okay. See, a lot of this part they're doing the stuff I do. Okay, I can't ask people help because not many people are doing it. That's first part of it. Second part, mostly you do it alone. You will not get people to join you because you are. I'm generally at that early stage. Only couple of people in the whole world were trying it. Often I will find some mistake or bug. I will try to ping the person on maybe Twitter or whatever and say, hey, I think this might be a bug. If I could replicate it, I will put a GitHub issue and I'll put it. If you have time now with the AI, you can go and solve. Maybe this can be a potential solution for it. Maybe set a pull request. So that's a level of interest which you're showing in it. And if they are reciprocating, we can be part of the larger group. That's how I get part of the early community of a lot of people. I've followed a lot of startup founders and they respond to it in some way. So that's my secret of learning new things. Okay, so don't try big thing on day one. You may not hit that, but try something small which you can do. Okay, so you cannot code. Can you find a bug? Okay, this is not working in this way. Can somebody help me in the way? Can you recreate a bug? So small ways to contribute and become part of these new upcoming projects. So that's what my advice would be.
So shall we conclude, sir?
Sure.
Okay. And thanks for joining. And it's an energetic journey towards the generative AI. So a lot of learning from our side. And especially from the IET, we are going to organize this kind of the events, especially in for entrepreneurship, as well as the students, those especially the engineering students, how they can actually promote themselves in a generative AI. So we will be having a series of events like Industry Institution Summit. This is going to happen on this after the second 2 months after. So this also we will invite you again for this generative AI panels. And thank you very much for your complete sessions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, good session.